Good evening. It is September the 1st, 2025. You have found the Players Meeting, a Win Dummies production, episode number 76. I'm the host of the show, the only person to be on all 76 episodes, Chris Smitty Smith. Gonna have a fun show tonight. We're gonna get into some juicy stuff, and we'll see where that leads us. We're going to talk about a couple of A-tiers that happened this week. One that's close to us because a lot of our local guys played it. A semi-local TD was involved with running it, Tyson Jones. Talking about the Greater Tulsa Open. We're going to look at a few other events that happened this weekend. We're going to look forward to the Discraft Great Lakes Open, one of I think the most fun watches on tour. I would love to have the opportunity to play that course. It looks fantastic to me, but it gets a lot of hate from some of the super pros for sure. So it's going to be a fun show. We're going to look a little bit at the rules. I got a fun take for my co-host tonight, Mr. Silent K, Greg Renfro. Let's bring that dude in.
Hey, Smitty.
What's up,
How are
dude?
you? Oh, I'm doing just fine.
Man, I had a great day. Didn't have to go to work.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
it's a bad day on the disc golf course is way better than a good day at work.
That's right. And I did get out a little bit. I didn't play a real course. Hudson and I and Ty and Travis Bailey kind of got out to Millbrook and looked at what Hudson wanted to do for the junior event and kind of marked the tees and moved all the baskets, and
good deal.
1 month out, and I
nice.
couldn't be more excited for the way it's shaping up. It's going to be fantastic.
I hope the weather cooperates and doesn't make a mess back there in the creek, but that's the only downside to Millbrook is when the creek's up, that is a mess back there. So
yeah, 5 and 11 can be trouble for sure, but
right.
Worst comes to worst, we can move those out and
right.
do a few other things that we
you can make it work. So
yeah. Did you get into any disc golf over the weekend?
I did. I played flights Thursday, and then played where the heck did I play Saturday? At Oak. Then I played Sunday somewhere. I don't even remember where. Millbrook, I think. I don't know. Something like that. Go. And then today I played at Linear Park. So
man, you've been getting after it.
Go. I try to play 2 or 3 times every weekend. So
sick. And I saw that you are registered for the Golden Goose. Isn't that what it's called?
Golden Goose Open at Spoon Creek. Oh man, that is such a fun thing. That is an absolute blast. Last year,
2 weeks out.
2 weeks out. Yep. And it's almost full. Last I looked, there was 86 out of 90 spots full. And
it's full.
And then last year I got 6th out of 90, which is not bad.
No, that's really good.
It was respectable. So
no, that's great.
So made lead card on the second round, and that was pretty good.
Heck yeah, man. Well done. Hopefully you can improve on that.
Yeah, that would be good.
Podium finish, and they give away one of them dumb Golden Goose.
No, what you get? You actually get a blown glass trophy. It's pretty sweet. It's a really nice trophy you get for, third, second, and first. Different size of it, but yeah, it's a really nice deal, and it's a fun event. I go up on Friday, and we'll play around. Just a casual round with a group of guys. We'll play that Friday, and I don't know. We played. Which one was it? We played Waterworks last year on Friday, and then So we'll pick a fun course. We did Blackhoof the last year before that, so that killed me.
You can find some great barbecue and
absolutely
amazing disc golf.
Looking forward to it. I am really looking forward to that weekend. That's always a highlight of my disc golf year is that event.
Yeah, I've heard you ooh and ah over Spoon Creek for a while. So.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, hey, how the heck am I posting when I'm not even posting? That's got to be Lucas. He's in the wind tunnel there, and he must have tried to commented from me. So hey,
go to slaps, huh? Well, I might have to do that.
My favorite is something C's. Just initials. It is, man, it's so good. It's a little scary getting there, but it's good. So I got into a little disc golf this weekend. I went down to Abilene. There was only 4 people in the age protected division, and I think there was 9 in pro. So I played the pro and came down to a playoff with Jordan Schaefer. I got a couple of really nice bonus birdies coming down the stretch to tie him up, and we had the drunkest individual I've ever seen, maybe, talking crap on us during our playoff. We walk up, and one guy knew of him, and they started talking, and this drunk dude said, I came down here to have just 1 beer. But he must have had about 12 somewhere else, because this guy was hammered. We backed his car up out of the way for him. We threw. Jordan hit a tree. He parked the hole the first 2 times. He hit a tree, ended up safe in a pretty lucky roll. And I got up there to throw, and right as I'm approaching, the guy says, well, his phone went off when I was coming to the tee pad, and I'm running up to throw, and I hear him say, we're just out here at the park watching this frisbee golf. And the 10 or 12 people that were watching started laughing. I straight parked it. All that ignoring middle schoolers for the last 10 years finally paid off.
It's paying off.
Yeah. So, all right, dude, you ready?
Well, good for you. Congratulations on that.
103.
103. That's fantastic.
Yes, sir. So I think I can get 20 wins this year if I play until it gets too
Man, that's good.
Yep, and only 1 uncontested win out of those 103, and I'm not proud of it. But I'm taking it. Just let you know. Yeah.
It still counts.
Yeah. Well, they all count. All right, dude. Well, here we go. Let's start where we always start. What's popping? What's been going on around the world of disc golf? And let's just start right here. The Greater Tulsa Open. And this is going to be fun. So we can see how it ended up. Jonathan Fletcher got the win. Carter Aarons, who we can kind of claim now because he's based out of Emporia, came up with 1 shot short. JT Hancock, who I saw is leading the disc golf Q series, whatever that gets him. So that's pretty cool. Caleb Bruce, Oklahoma steady dude, and then Freddie Meza, who plays a ton of these events. But I think we need to bring this cat in right there.
Hey, Lucas.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
I'm great.
Lucas was there firsthand, and I think that Lucas can just give us his straightforward, unbiased opinion as to what happened. I've got statements from both of the boys, both really good, that we'll read and share. And then I think, Greg, you and I can just kind of talk about what we think in regards to this whole crazy situation. So, Lucas, welcome.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me. So let's talk about this weekend. Me and Brandon were down there recording this weekend for Disc and Deals coverage. That coverage should be out in a month or so. I got to plug that real quick. But let me tell you, this all really starts the controversy, as people are saying already in the chat. There was some controversy here, and it all started on hole 5 of the final round. And so Jonathan Fletcher, who was not leading at the time, threw a shot, good shot, hit an unfortunate tree, and kicked what looked to be like road, but maybe not road, because it landed in a place where, So you can see right there, that's the map of the course. You see where that road is? It basically landed up there by that road and that tree up on the top left side of that road. And what happened is some of the dirt had washed over onto the road. And so at first they're just trying to figure out a spot. Like, okay, is it OB or is it not? And so the card, they talked about this for a little while. Okay, so they went back and forth. Carter started digging in front of the disc through the dirt to try to figure out where the road actually started. And so he starts digging, and he finally figures out, okay, Fletcher's disc is completely on the road. Okay, so most of the time that is OB. But the unfortunate piece here and the biggest controversy is that the PDGA rules stated OB is marked by a white line on the left or on the right and deep of the basket. There was a clear, definitive line on the right. There was absolutely no line on the left whatsoever. And so this is where the controversy really, really took off. So everyone called him out because it was the road. But Fletcher argued that it doesn't say road, though. Nothing says road. So because of that, they said, okay, play a provisional. We'll talk to the tournament director. From here, Fletcher, during his shot where it was technically inbounds, on that shot, he cans the putt from like 45 feet, takes the birdie. He then takes a meter, does the same putt, misses, and takes a 4. So he has 2 different scores, right? A birdie, 2, and a bogey 4. They put a 2 on the scorecard because you put the best score, and then they're going to talk to Tyson at the end. So let's fast forward all the way to hole 18. At this point, Carter and Fletcher are tied, completely tied at the top. They both have really good drives. Fletcher's was a little bit further, so Carter has to act first. Carter throws his. He's about 45 feet, maybe a little bit longer for his birdie putt. Fletcher then goes. It's a par 4, by the way. So Fletcher then goes on his approach. He puts it to within like 15. So Fletcher's got the upper hand here. At this point, this is when they call Tyson over. Before Carter even approaches his lie to take his putt, because he needs to know, is this something he has to make or not? So at this point, Tyson comes over. They have a brief conversation, and he says, well, if the card said he was in, because he thought that the card was saying that they had called him in. And he said, well, if the card said he's in, then he's in. So at this point, Carter's like, okay, I got to make this putt. He shoots the putt, misses, chains out. Unfortunate. Fletcher goes in, bangs his. Fletcher is the winner. But wait, that's not the end, because then Tyson brings them back over to try to get a little bit more information. At this point, they continue talking. And then Tyson wants to go look at the hole. So they walk all the way from 18 over to hole 5, and they could see where the disc would have been because Carter dug the hole. So they start talking about it. And Tyson just doesn't know which way he wants to go here. He's hearing it from everyone. Everyone around is giving their opinion. He's just trying to make a ruling. But all of these different players are giving their 2 cents on what they think. So Tyson just takes a step back and calls the PDGA. At this point, the PDGA says, all right, we're just going to wash the hole. All right, so that means on the scorecard, everyone that played that hole in that division, they get a 3. Okay, so it completely washes the hole. Now, if they did this just for the last round, Carter would have won. But they did it for the entire tournament because that's the way it was for the entire tournament. And this is where the biggest controversy is, because Fletcher can still wins, but there is so much money that has moved around. Like take Nolan, for instance. He went from like 6th back to 9th. And there's so many people. I think there was one gentleman that was about to cash for his very first tournament in the A tier. He's no longer cashing. So there was so much that happened because of that wash. And so this is why it's getting a lot of attention. And I can see, of course, both sides. I think a lot of people are taking the stance that, hey, Fletcher should have called himself out. We all know Rhodes OB. But if it's not written, I also understand Fletcher's position of not. I'm playing as the rules state. If the rules don't state it's out of bounds, I'm not going to play out of bounds. So I get both sides. It just sucks that it had to happen. I think the hindsight is, damn, I wish there was a line there, and then everything's fine. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at today, and that's what happened this weekend. And man, and I'm telling you, Smitty, this course looked really fantastic. They drew in lines this year that were never there in the past. They really tried to make this thing a tougher layout. It looked beautiful. And I really don't like that it's overshadowed by the ending of this, because it honestly played as a very good tournament.
Junon says, and I just looked,
Can you hear Smitty?
Can you hear me?
No,
You're breaking up a little bit. There you go.
Oh, let me get a little closer. It wiped hole 5 clean for everybody in all divisions that played Hakey Creek. So, and Junod said that it brought Ron Converse, brought him 3 strokes over the weekend, and he ended up tying for second. So, I mean, this one thing really affected the entire outcome of the tournament in all divisions. And like you said, dude, this is just this one line that somebody, what was Yasham? Is that his name?
Yasha
went out there, and I talked to Tyson a little bit, and Tyson says Yasha wanted to design the course and do all this. And it sounds like he did a really good job of making a long course even harder. And this one line or lack of line or oversight on the PDJ Live is really a slap in the face to what I think was going to be a fantastic tournament. And you know what I'm wondering, Lucas, and you can tell me if I'm wrong here or not. If when he went to paint that line, he said, why in the heck would I paint this line? There's a curb there. Was there a curb or a definite line?
There was definitely, you could tell when there was road and when there wasn't road. The thing is that it rained the night before, and so it kind of, some of that dirt had spilled over. So yeah, that's definitely why, because I think Tyson first stated that, hey, roads are OB throughout the park, like on every hole. But I think that was stated in the original caddy book. And then there was an email that went out that said PDGA Live overrules the caddy book. So that's what they fell back on.
Yeah, it's just shocking to me that this didn't happen in round 1 or round 2, because they played the same course all 3 times, right?
Yep, exactly.
And I can't believe that somebody didn't throw in that road and check that online scoring and be like, what the heck, dude? And bring that to Tyson's attention so he could address it. You know, this is very similar to what happened last year at Keeper of the Chains. Remember hole 2 on the east side?
Yep.
When you're trying to run a big tournament like that, man, and I can't imagine what Tyson and the crew were doing. They had 3 courses going on, 3 full courses, which is 3 different people running these courses. And I don't know that any of them are actually claiming that course as theirs, right? Are any of them locals to that course? I don't know that, but when you just step up to a course and you're there, I mean, unless you go walk the whole thing and check that caddy guide as you're going, then I mean, that's going to take you an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm guessing most of them should. I mean, wow, what a tough thing to what to me seems like there was a lot of planning and work done before this happened for one little thing like this to come up and
Yeah, it was
and-
unfortunate. I mean, if you take the lead card second round, right? Logan goes OB there. Logan Harpool goes OB there. He didn't even check the caddy book. He says, I'm in the road. He takes his meter and finishes the hole, takes the OB stroke. So I don't think many people were looking, because I think most people assume that road is OB. It's just crazy that the only time that this came up was final round, lead card, and then it came down to it really mattered to the point that it was going to determine a winner.
did you see what Trizzy Trey said? He said other people played this as out on the lead card. Did somebody else throw in the road and just play it out of bounds?
So not final round anyway. So like I said, Logan lead card second round did go OB and played it that way. I would say more people were going to the right side OB, and that was a definitive line. So that was not a question. But yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation, like you said, because of how great the course looked, how everything was going.
It just seems like, you add just a little bit of verbiage on there. Road is
Well,
OB. It's and that, that solves it. But
maybe
I mean,
though, right? Lucas said there was a washout where there was
well,
dirt and the
right,
disc was
but
on
they
that.
did determine that he was clearly on the road, right?
Yeah, I mean,
he was
after Carter dug,
right.
I think but yes, it was still in a place where like it kind of appeared that it could have been like dirt and not road. Take for instance, hole 18 at Herman. You know how that kind of washes out with the sand?
Right.
Kind of that same situation where you can make an argument.
Yeah, I've actually thought about that at that course before, where you're coming into 18 and you slide down that over the curb. Are you?
Yeah, they've had to paint. They've had to paint the line in the past and put flags too. So,
well, this year we had Aaron Nolan crew get a skid steer out there and move it. That's how badass those dudes are. That was sick. So there we go. Yeah, Loff, I agree, man.
mm-hmm.
I agree.
It's
and
such a unfortunate thing. And then handling, I'm not sure. I guess I don't know how else you would do it, but it just seems like shuffling all of those people that's a rough thing.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if there's a better way to do that or
let's
but
look and see what these guys responded to me with, and then Lucas, stay here. We want your opinion on this too, and then we can kind of see what we think and go from there. Right now, this first one here. Well, first of all, let me show you what I sent them. I asked them a couple things that they wanted to come on. Then I got to thinking, I don't know that I want to bring these guys on. I didn't know if they were cool with each other. I didn't want any mudslinging type deal. So I said, hey man, here's 3 questions I want to know. Why didn't the TD get called over on hole 5? Seems like if you're the lead card, there's no big rush. Maybe you could call them. Maybe they could come there. And you could then play out the tournament knowing the outcome before you got to the end. And I said, would the TD have been involved if one of the 2 of you would have won by 10? He would have been involved. He would have made a call, I think, but it wouldn't have had the same effect that it's having right now. It would have just been, yeah, oh yeah, that's in, that's out, whatever. Boom, go on about your business. And then I wanted to know if they felt like the correct final call was made. All right. Here we go. And I'm just going to read this because it's probably pretty small on the screen. So here we go. First one's from Jonathan. It's a no good situation overall. Sucks that the tournament came down to that in a sense. The TD didn't get called because we figured we'd talk to him about it at the end. Yeah, right. Why not? In the moment, we played the provisional and someone mentioned calling him on the way to 6, but we concluded we could talk to him at the end. No one seemed in a hurry about it. That's generally what you do, right? When you have a provisional, you just play it out and then you talk to them at the end. We originally put in my 2 instead of a 4 because that would be the greatest benefit to the rest of the competitors the rest of the round. It would be me dropping 2 strokes rather than gaining 2, depending on that decision. Also smart, right? So these guys are trying to gun him down. Nobody's going to be mad if they gun him down and then he gets 2 strokes taken away versus gunning him down and then actually beating him by 2 more than what you thought. I think that's a smart move. If I was winning or losing by 10, he would have been involved either way. And I agree with this next statement, but I don't imagine that conversation has the shakeout this one did. In my mind, that is a 20 rating point decision, and that's important to me at this point in my career. The rating thing, I don't care about that so much in this situation, but I do think he's 100% right that had it not determined the winner, it's not a big deal. We go on about our business. Nobody else, no other division is affected.
Yeah, I can't see that call going to the PDGA if it's not close.
No, and I'm guessing people are going to hear about it, but everybody at that tournament knows about this call right now. So correct call is a tough thing to come down to. With the entire hole being removed all 3 rounds, I think the original call of being safe was the correct call. When everything spiraled and led to removing the hole seemed, I thought things got incredibly complicated, but probably ended up being the most fair. Yeah, that is complicated. And you know what? I think removing the hole probably is the only fair thing to do, not knowing how people played it. Who's going to call up Tyson and say, "Oh yeah, I played it as safe as well. Give me a couple strokes," or "I didn't know it was safe, so I played it." Yeah, I think removing it's the only thing they probably could do. And then he said, "I truly believe you can't call somebody OB when they never crossed the OB line. There was no OB line to cross on the left side. If anybody was over there and read those rules to me, I couldn't in good conscience call them OB. I imagine that the PDGA must have agreed with that logic since they concluded that removing the hole was simpler than handing out misplays or whatever else could have come down the way." I think the PDGA removed the hole because it was the most fair thing to do. I don't think they cared 2 squats about misplays. So, whoops. Sorry, Greg.
So you're silent, okay.
Welcome back.
You're out of there.
I felt like that was a pretty good response, guys. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you going to say? I mean, I don't know how else you can go with that. I don't know. I hate the situation for the people that got affected that weren't even involved in the situation. That's what I feel bad for.
Lucas, anything to add?
Yeah, I just think there was a lot of people, a ton of people in Tyson's ear. And I think that's the part that I'm just like, let him like take a second. Like everyone's like pressuring him. And like, he's got to like figure out the situation. Yeah, I will say, like, if I'm answering those questions and it's my opinion, go back to those questions, Smitty. I just want to give my opinion on this.
You want to do that now or after we see what Carter said?
Okay, that's fair. I'll do that at the end. Okay. But I feel like what Fletcher said is what I feel like it's truthful. It's honest. It's genuine. I think he also won the tournament. So I'm interested to see what Carter says.
I would be interested to see how it played out if he wasn't on that washed out spot and was in the road itself.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way the rules are written and what he has said, he would call that safe as well, which he has that right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to Carter. Hang on. Let's see what Junod had to say. Uh-oh. I wish I wouldn't have put that up there. All right. Honestly, I don't want to make a big deal about this weekend's tournament. I have a lot of disc golf ahead of me and many more A-tiers to battle for the win, and he will battle for the win in a lot.
Yeah, you will.
I do want to address your questions. Hole 5 was addressed at the time just as you would at any event. Jonathan played a provisional due to a discrepancy between the caddy book and PDJ live scoring. Did you see that, Lucas? Were they the same?
So, from what I heard, I didn't get to see the caddy book. So all I saw was PDJ live scoring. But they did say that they said in the caddy book it had said roads throughout the park were OB, and then an email had went out that said PDJ live, it trumps everything.
Okay, there we go. The caddy book marked the road on hole 5 as OB, and the live scoring didn't address it. Jonathan argued the point that the road was not OB. So as a provisional, he played it as if the road was OB and also if the road was not OB. Jonathan missed the putt, playing for the caddy book. This is all what you said. Okay. Mm-hmm. We carried on with the round and asked the TD at the end for a ruling. But this wasn't at the end. Was this before they putted?
This was before Carter's putt.
When they brought Tyson over the first time.
Correct.
Both Jonathan and I laid out our arguments as you would expect in this situation. He has every right to argue his case, as do I. In this case, a ruling wasn't made as to which was correct, the caddy book or the PDJ live scoring notes. It sounds like the live scoring trumped it based on the email. In the end, decision was made to eliminate hole 5 from all 3 rounds of the tournament. As you mentioned, the TD was put in a no-win situation while doing a job that's hard enough without issues like these. As far as the ruling, a decision was made and I totally respect it. Unfortunately, the discrepancy and decision also had an impact on the rest of the field. After getting a chance to get off of the course and away from the moment, and most importantly, separating myself from a third party escalating the situation, which it sounds like there might have been a 4th, 5th, 7th, 50th party doing that as well.
Yeah.
I have nothing but respect for Jonathan and congratulations to him on a hard-fought battle and the win. Pretty good.
Yeah. Very professional.
Yep. Very classy answer.
Very, very.
Yeah.
So a question for you, Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
The non-OB putt, he took that standing in the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Just curious. I didn't know if he took, obviously he couldn't take relief if he was calling that inbounds, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So he canned it. He canned it. And I don't think I mentioned this, but like I think what makes this stink even more is he made his putt when it was, from the road, right? He canned it. But at the same time, Carter took a 4 on that hole. He bogeyed the hole. And so this is where, like, if they would have just eliminated that hole just for that round, it flip-flops Carter as the winner. And so it's just crazy. I think poor Tyson, because he slayed that event, man. It was a good event. And I think truly hats off to him for doing the best he could in a very somewhat hostile environment. There's a lot of people trying to be professional, but also some people that weren't probably being as professional as they should in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, I'm assuming with tea time, some of them had been done for an hour and a half and had found the cooler, which probably helped them be not as professional at the moment. All right, here's those questions you wanted to see.
Okay. So, yeah, they did talk about it. I think Jonathan addressed that best. They did talk about bringing the TD over, but they just said, we'll talk about it at the end of the round. Like, that's what you normally do, right? But this one here, the second one, I don't think it just wouldn't have been as big a deal, right? And I think this was addressed too, but it just would have been so much the height of this would have been so much lower if, one of them is winning by a lot more strokes. And this was just a tough situation. And I don't think either Carter or Fletcher, neither of them, even in the moment, were unprofessional. I think they just were stating their case as they should, right? I think some of the other people that came over those were the ones that I'm talking about. But Carter and Fletch handled themselves like true professionals. And even the response afterward, it seems like they're still continuing that. So kudos to them for handling that the way they have.
What were these other people? Why did they care at this point? Did they know the hole was getting erased? Is that what was making them mad?
So I think that's when some other people, once they found out that the hole was going to be washed, that's when some other people got upset. But then also people were just giving their opinion. And I don't know why they felt the need to do that in that situation, because it wasn't their call to make. Like, it was and when you look at holistically, right, it's the card's decision, first of all, right? The card's decision was, hey, play a provisional, we'll talk to the TD. So that means they have to talk to the TD because a provisional was called and they have to figure out an answer. So from there, it's between that card and then Tyson now has to make the decision. And since he found it very difficult to do so, the PDGA stepped in. And I think Loft said this in the chat, but kudos to the PDGA Live, the hotline, to be able to give a pretty quick response on this too, in the moment.
Well, I was talking to Loft last night. We were talking about the tanking situation and how to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of told him what happened here. And he's like, oh, yeah, I already know. the guy at the PDJ is like, yeah, dude, your problem here, no brainer. 888. I got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, no doubt.
And what do you think in the end?
I think they did what was probably the most fair, because truly you don't know how everyone else played it. It sucks. It's the worst situation that could have happened to have this happen. Because if Tyson makes a call, all right, it affects fewer people. But because the PDGA got involved, now everyone is affected. But in the end, it's probably more fair because, as you said, Smitty, who's going to call and say, you know what? I didn't play that OB.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think this is what they had to do, was just remove it. And yeah, as much as it sucks to work for months, invest thousands of dollars, not just by Tyson and the event staff, but by Jonathan Fletcher driving there from Nebraska, Carter heading up from Import, everybody congregating there and staying multiple days and spending all their money. And so many people, I'm guessing, are just mad as heck.
Yeah, I mean, that hole was a tough hole to birdie. And so everyone that did birdie that's got to sting, especially when they birdied it multiple times.
Yeah, well, I talked to a Brandon Cawthorn a little bit today too, and he's like, dude, I played that thing under par. Anyway, that was really good to be under par on 3 rounds on that thing. So, yeah.
What's your thought here, Smitty?
On what Mike's saying?
Yeah.
Well, I think that everybody that played that hole, we don't know, man. So I think that's what you got to do. And I get where Mike's coming from. If Ron Kahn made up 3 strokes on him to tie him, that probably took $200, $300 out of Mike's pocket.
Yep.
So
it affected. I mean, I think there's some people that are going to be like secretly, yes, I just made some extra money, but it's the ones that lost the money that are going to be the loudest, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, and I've seen things like this at unsanctioned events where people get all up in arms over, okay, Hayesville at Riggs Park, hole 6 goes over the water, the little bridge.
Mm-hmm.
The live scoring said on or over the sidewalk is out of bounds. A person threw under the bridge to the other side, argued, threatened to beat up Keenan, was out of whack because that's not a sidewalk, that's a bridge. To which I said, bro, how do you get over that bridge? Well, you walk. There we go. Wasn't good enough. And then finally, and there was only a small field there, and finally Keenan was like, I don't really care. Let's just go.
Yeah.
So, and that was nothing. No money. That was just, yeah. Man, wow. What a situation. So, and I think the three of us feel like it was handled as best as it could be.
Yeah. I think for the situation, I think it was a no-win, as I think everyone has mentioned, but I think Tyson did the best he could. And I just think in the future, that's going to be something he's going to have those laser eyes on. He's going to never want that situation again in his life.
I just think I think that's something that's going to come with running a big event at a course, at an area that isn't yours, that you're not familiar with, that you're not there to do all the work, that you're relying on other people to do the work. And you know what? Maybe Tyson would have missed the line as well, or the verbiage on the online scoring up. It's just an unfortunate thing.
It is.
Handled the best it could be handled. Voila. Man, that's fun.
I mean, I think it's bound to make those tournaments going forward better. I mean, they'll be tighter for sure. So I think I think in the end, it's a good learning experience for everybody involved. I think it sucks. It's a hard lesson for some, but
right. And I just don't know. I'm still. I can't believe that it didn't come up before the final group,
right?
The final round.
Agreed.
It's just something that's so easy to fix,
right?
If it's made aware.
Well, and like I said, I would have assumed the road was OB. Just how I've played enough rounds of disc golf. You throw it in the road, it's OB.
Yeah.
And so but I get the other argument too.
Yep. This is gonna be fun because this is gonna lead into one of our next discussions here in a little bit. So, all right, Lucas, man, thanks for coming in, giving us the
good seeing you, Lucas.
First person POV there, boy.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thanks for having me on.
How much up did you record?
We got a little bit. We'll probably just have commentary over it. I'm just going to mute it,
baby.
I'm going to mute it. I'm going to have some of the conversation, like the picture. But yeah, we'll have something in there. But we're going to let commentary take care of it.
Right on. All right, dude. Peace, man.
All right. See you guys.
All right, Greg. Well, that took us a while.
Yeah, that was, but it was worthwhile. That was a worthwhile discussion.
Absolutely. Told you it was going to be a banger.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, let's race through
crazy stuff.
Let's race through these other events, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Honestly, I don't really care too much about any of them, really. I care about this one. I think it's amazing that any disc golf tournament can run for 50 years, dude.
That's almost as old as you and I. Almost.
No. Can there be a longer running event?
I don't know what it would be. Maybe something in California.
But 50 years, and I'm wondering, is that continuous? Did they miss any years? What's the
The
story?
That's crazy.
Incredible. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah,
And then
50 years is nuts.
congratulations to that Stokely sponsored kid, Dallas Gerber, I think is his name. Yeah, Garber.
Yeah.
For
So he was a Stokely
Mhm.
sponsored guy. Oh,
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's won a couple events here in the last few weeks. So, and then the CCR, you can't watch any of the ladies coverage because there is none.
Right.
But there we
I
go.
looked for it. I liked the courses.
Yeah,
The courses were solid.
yeah, they were
I
fun to
thought.
watch.
Yeah.
I've watched all the men's coverage, but
Right.
I guess this gives Kat a little confidence moving into Great Lakes Open, Discraft Great Lakes Open. Deanne Carey.
Yeah, that's
I would have
surprises
never
me.
guessed she was
I
going
mean,
well, not the greatest field ever, but
I would have thought Owen would have taken that one down.
yeah.
But
And,
Kat has her moments for sure.
mhm.
I mean, she
There-
can be really good. Just seems like she has some decision making sometimes that is not the best. So
The courses were definitely on the shorter side, which plays more into Deanne Carey's
right.
repertoire, and a lot of dead straight shots, which is not good for Scoggins.
No.
So-
she's got that flex going and she's good at it, but yeah, you can't do that in the woods.
I would
Not
love
in
to
most situations anyway.
I would love to see her pick up something that wasn't a destroyer
Right.
and try to throw it and see if she could stretch or throw out another 45, 50 feet pretty easily.
I would think so.
Those things she's
I
throwing
would
are,
think something a little less stable,
yeah, dude.
maybe a little bit slower, a little less stable, and throw it flat. It
Yeah,
seems like you could get more distance.
listen to us. You
Yeah,
might win a
let's
couple of
coach her.
world titles
Yeah,
in one
I
year.
mean, she's only
Sheesh.
world champion multiple
Yeah.
times. What does she know? What does
Possibly
she know
player
about
of the
disc
year.
golf?
Sheesh. Get a life, lady.
Sarah, MA50 guy, sub 900. I'll tell you how to do it.
Damn right. All right. And then on the men's side, this was a battle. Silas with the wire-to-wire win, but I forgot what
He built
I need
up
to
a
look-
big lead. He
what
was
did
up.
he-
I think at the end of the second round, wasn't he up like 7 or so, 6 or 7?
Yeah, he
at
was
the
killing
beginning
it,
of-
dude.
And then he threw a double first hole of the last round, right? Double bogeyed first hole.
I do
Yeah.
believe there it is. He after 2 rounds, that dude was 29 under par.
Yeah.
I'm not very smart, but that's
That's some good rounds.
leaving 7 out there
Right.
in
Yeah.
36 holes. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
that's impressive.
And there
Yeah, he was
some-
playing sharp.
Yeah, dude.
He
There
looked
was some
so good.
There were some tricky shots.
Yeah,
There were some massive putts.
absolutely. He was sharp.
He might get the starting job in my sleeper pick.
Maybe.
He was not.
It was a thought. I did think about him, and that was one I considered, but he wasn't mine either. But I just don't know if he can do that 2 tournaments in a row, play that sharp. I don't
And
know.
when you're the shark in the field, it's probably a little bit easier than when the other sharks are trying to eat you, which I'm
Right.
guessing is how he feels on the big tour. But
Oh, I would think, yeah.
yeah, like you said though, I liked the courses. I was familiar with that the one with the water fountain, 18th green. I'd seen
18th,
that.
yeah.
before.
That's a neat finishing hole. I kind of like that, waterfall little thing there on it. It's kind of goofy in a way, but I like it just because it's different.
I don't think I need the pond 3 inches from the hole.
Yeah, it's plays casual.
I do like the elevated.
You can step
green.
in it with the koi.
Well, that's
and
what
make your shot.
Aaron Gossage just stood on the other side of it and basically dropped it in. So it's like a small pond.
Yes, it's very small.
All right. Well, that's enough tournament talk. Let's look at a couple of rule changes coming up next year.
Sounds good.
One that would have made a drastic difference
Yes, it
in
would
the outcome of this tournament. Right? So when the flight, position, or status of a disc is questionable, the determination is made by group vote. That's what we've always done, right? But look at the very first one. All players, excluding the thrower. So basically, to me, that means Jonathan Fletcher wouldn't have a say in the argument. He could
I think
state
the
his
only
case.
thing, he could say,
That's it.
hey, I think, here's why I think I'm in bounds, and then he's got to back away.
And I think Lucas said the other three dudes said
He
was out.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think of that, man?
Well, I think here's my thoughts on it. Typically, we're playing in cards of 4, and you can get to where you have a tie, and that makes a mess. I think that, yeah, and I think that eliminates a lot of those tie situations from happening. I think that's probably why they did it, would be my guess, is to speed up those decisions and, make it to where, hey, there's not going to be, one guy and the thrower go one way and the other two the other, and then you're trying to hash it out for 10 minutes. So,
Well,
I think
does the thrower ever really give a reasonable argument, or do they argue for themselves regardless?
I think it depends on the thrower. I mean, I do, although I don't know if it really becomes something that's an argument type situation if the thrower, is honest with themselves, so to speak, and says, yeah, it's out, or, I didn't cross inbounds. That's the one that I think most of the time gets missed, is the crossing inbounds one. I think that's a very common, and it's a hard judgment to make. Did you cross inbounds?
I'm good with that rule. I'm good with it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm okay with it. I think it's fair, and it's how it's going to be. I think that's okay.
Yeah, you walk up there, guys. I think it crossed. My disc is here. I think I caught this corner.
Right.
I'm out of it. It's now in your hands.
Right.
And it's going to be the same thing. You're either going to get the call and be happy, or you're not going to get the call and be mad. And what I meant earlier was, I don't think any dude's ever going to go up there and say, "Oh yeah, guys, I'm out."
Right.
I'm out,
right.
man.
Right.
But
yeah, if it's questionable, you're always going to be lobbying for the advantage, for sure. I mean, you're playing a competitive sport. You're trying to win.
Well, I've heard Yuli say that he's always going to argue for himself. I heard him say it multiple times. Now this rule, pace of play.
The Gannon Burr rule.
Could be. Kind of. There's other slow people out there too.
There is. But Nico, I don't know if you've heard his take on this rule. But
where they're targeting him?
Yeah.
Well, of course they are.
But right? I think they're targeting some other guys too.
Yeah, but this dude's on.
He's the obvious one. Yeah.
He's the best player in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's slow.
He is.
So players must ensure pace of play and must not take excessive time to make a throw. Okay.
Sounds simple enough, right?
Yeah, so far. Now let's see if it gets cloudy. A player has taken excessive time if they have not thrown with the time allotted. Okay, now look at the time allotted. On the tee, within 20 meters of the target or at a drop zone, you have 30 seconds. On the tee, are you ever going to need more than 30 seconds?
Do you know how many guys I play with that don't know how far 20 meters is?
Well, that's the one I kind of have
I mean,
an issue with.
That's okay. Yeah, I think, yeah, clear as mud.
The tee and the drop zone, I'm fine with. That's the old rule.
Right.
Get up there, throw, do your thing.
Right.
I do think that you could be within 60 feet. It's pretty far
Right.
from basket.
And be in a position that you need to take some time.
Yeah, it might take
You
you
could be in the
time
middle
to
of a
get in
cedar
there.
tree.
Exactly. So that one, that I don't think clears up any of the situation.
No.
I think it muddies it maybe a little bit more too, because now, yeah, like you said,
Yeah,
some
so
guys
what,
don't know what 20 meters is. Blah,
yeah,
blah, blah.
and then the 45 seconds otherwise. To me, so here's the thing that I think, and here's my, I don't know, I haven't heard Brody's take on this, but here's my Brody take on that is freaking drop the stupid clock. Get rid of it. Keep up with the card in front of you. And have, somebody prodding, hey, look, you guys, this card is falling behind. Get your shit together and catch up.
That's how PGA works. If they fall behind, the marshal warns the entire group.
Right.
We got to go. You got to catch up.
Yeah.
Now the whole group is playing faster. And some courses don't have a marshal. Might be the deal. Your local C tier.
I get it. But who's going to be running the clock?
Do C tiers
So
and
that,
Disc Golf Pro Tour events need to be astringent?
Shouldn't even have the same rules.
Well, most of the same rules.
Yeah, most of the same rules, yes. But there are some things like this that I think the tour should be, they should be prodding that card along to keep up with the card in front of them.
The tour should maybe have some of their own rules that aren't even
right. I think
PDGA rules.
I would agree.
Okay, so here's when your time begins. The previous player has thrown. Okay, and notice that little and.
Right.
The player is in the next throwing order, and the player has determined the location of their lie, and the player has okay, so the first three ands are exactly what we do now.
Right. No
Nothing
difference. New. Right.
So is number 4. The player has addressed their lie. When does that happen? Right. That's going to be addressed here next. And then the playing area remains clear. You would think,
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but I saw Kevin Babbitt get a time warning, and the area in front of him had been clear for 25 seconds, maybe. The marshal just walked up.
Okay.
It might have been longer. Kevin was taking forever to make a really easy shot at the Worlds. The marshal walked up out of nowhere after Kevin threw. He gave him a stroke. Okay, so here's those when the lie starts. Mark the lie with the mini marker disc. Sometimes I do that when it's not.
I've seen people do that. Yeah, I mean they'll go up and put their marker down way before they're addressing their lie.
Yeah. Placing a supporting point on the lie. Now I think we're there.
Yeah.
Executing a pre-shot routine.
What does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. Using a rangefinder.
Okay.
Checking the wind.
I mean, I can get behind those two, I guess, but I mean, I don't know. I've seen guys check the wind nowhere near their lie.
The first rule, they fixed it.
Right.
The vote rule. That they improved that rule.
Yeah, that rule I think is better. This rule is jump.
Worse. It's worse.
I think it's terrible.
They added
yeah.
more things that are going to be more judgment
It's
calls.
so confusing the way they
Yep.
wrote that. Yeah,
And none of it's
just
needed.
a mess. No,
Like
no,
you
you
said.
just get rid of the stupid time clock altogether at that level.
Keep up, you bozos.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. The last thing on tour here. Did you see any of this?
I saw this when you sent me this message about this, and oh man, that doesn't look like fun. Looks like some acupuncture, right? Some
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
yeah, with some little electrodes hooked to it. So yeah, is this Lyme disease leftover stuff?
I don't know, but I had a suspicion something was wrong with him at one of those European events. He threw a shot off the tee that went nowhere. It just hyzered off left out of bounds. I'm like, what in the world? It's got to be some sort of
no
a grip issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you're throwing as hard and far as he does, you better be able to squeeze a frisbee.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine those guys grip a disc a hell of a lot harder than I need to. So, yeah, and you don't have any feeling in your hand or wrist or whatever he's got going on. And you can't grip a disc. You add a little bit of wetness to that. You go out and you're playing in wet grass or something, and man, that's going to be not fun.
That's a scary thing for Ricky Wysocki fans, and Discraft.
Yeah, because he didn't in that statement. He didn't make any say what it was or what the prognosis was. But I saw somebody post there that said that's good.
Yeah, so. I mean that's great. That's great. Yeah, nerve issues is a bad thing. I tried to full start my lawnmower at the beginning of spring one year, and I pulled that thing like 150 times and went to play disc golf, and I couldn't throw a disc, and dude, I about started crying. So, well, I'm not going to see it. I'll be working. Stupid work. All right. Next thing. You ready?
Yes, sir.
This is our last regular season event. We're starting the playoffs. Do you know what that means?
Nothing.
Nobody knows.
No. It's as good as the NASCAR playoffs.
I think I did a little hunting and searching today. The best I could figure out was at this point, the field shrinks a little bit. It's only the top 100 players. And then there was some rule that if you're one of the top 8 that aren't qualified, something you can move for. But
I don't like it.
It means this much because there's 20 to 25 dudes that are going to be in the mix at these tournaments. And honestly, I don't care about the 101 ranked player on the disc golf pro.
Yeah. And what does it mean in the end? Yeah. What is the playoff for?
Yep. I don't know. To me, playoff means you got to do something to go on.
Right.
There's
some elimination in the.
This is like a reverse playoff.
Yeah. Does the field shrink each round?
Oh God. You got this guy fired up.
I'm just saying that the NASCAR playoff I've never been a fan of because it just doesn't. It's not a playoff kind of sport.
I'm only a fan of NASCAR for the last 10 laps of any race. That's all I care.
Now you're missing out on all kinds of strategy.
Yeah, you nerds can watch that. All right, here we go. Let's talk about it. The Great Lakes Open. Like I said at the beginning, I like watching it. I think it's one of those things where I'm familiar with the course. It's every hole has history. A few of the holes have changed over the last 6 to 8 years, but a lot of them are the same. I don't think hole one
Right.
and hole two's changed the green a little bit, but overall it's the same. Amazing
Certainly has
shot.
the same look and feel that it's had for as long as I've been watching it, which
know
isn't a
what-
terribly long time, but you know, it's. But
Do you know what Garrett J. Verberg is?
what was that?
The sponsor.
Garrett J. Oh, no idea.
Candy company, famous for their licorice. I had to look it up.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, never heard of
So
them.
hopefully we'll see them all out there chewing on a piece of black licorice when they're
Yum.
lining up in a fourth cut.
I'll
So
have
no.
black teeth.
Yeah, I love this event. I think that, we see that a lot of the pros aren't huge fans of it. And I think they all like the front nine. I think the front nine is a challenge and scoreable, and good shots are rewarded, bad shots are punished. But I think what I see most of them saying is that the back stretch of the course is throw, and you're either trying to make a 65, 70 footer, or you're laying up from 125 feet. And these guys are on a level that they're going to be able to shape the disc nearly every time around any obstacle that's in the way from 125 feet. So
yeah, and I saw Gannon's rankings of all the courses, but he really didn't get into on that video that I watched. He really didn't get into what he hated about this course. But it seems odd that the guy that won it last year hates the course. But I guess you can still win and not like the course.
Yeah, you don't have to like it to execute every shot on there to near perfection and make every putt that you look at. I mean,
right.
But
you would think the course would be slightly more attractive to you if you won a major tournament on it.
Hey man, you can't like them all. Right? You can't
So
can't like them all.
How many tournaments have you won on courses you hated, Smitty?
Council Grove. That's the only one I can think of.
Gotcha.
So, but no, I think this course has given us some iconic moments, even in the back half of the course that doesn't get a lot of love. I looked at the last 4 years. Okay. Last year, Gannon won by 2 over Isaac Robinson. You're coming into hole 18, the new hole 18, 2 strokes isn't a lot to play with. No. And I don't remember how that played out. I don't remember if Isaac was up and Gannon caught him. I don't remember, but 2 strokes on that hole doesn't seem like a lot.
I know Heimberg went way downhill the last 3 holes.
They can sting you.
He really struggled right at the end of that.
In 23, Simon beat Eagle by 3. I remember that. That's when Simon threw a B on purpose coming down the stretch. So, which I don't think they can do that anymore. I'm pretty sure they fixed that.
No, that's been fixed.
22, Calvin and Corey Ellis tied and went to a playoff, which Calvin won. And then in 21, Eagle won over Kyle Klein. And that's when I'm pretty sure Eagle threw that ridiculous flick from straddling the guardrail on hole 15 or 16 coming down the stretch. If you don't remember that shot, you better.
Wild stuff.
Look. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
There's some great holes on that course. I like the elevation changes that it has. I think that adds an element that a lot of courses they play on don't have necessarily, not consistently. And it's a physical thing too. That's a very physical course. I don't think I could play it.
Probably not 3 times in 3 days.
3 days, no.
And probably playing 1 or 2 practice rounds.
I'd have to really eat a lot of vitamin I to play that one.
Logan says there's one flat hole.
Yeah. Yeah, carry 420 on a rope.
Hey, this
Yeah,
sounds like
that's-
the course for us, Greg.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, if
I
I want to shoot plus 50, that's the course for me.
I don't got a lot to dig into about the course. I think that we make our picks and move on to the next segment. We're already pushing over an hour.
Sounds good.
So.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, you know the rules. As the guest, you get to make the first pick. You can
All
pick
right.
you can pick the category. You can make the pick.
Oh, let
don't
me
forget-
take a look here what I've got.
Don't forget the Roadhouse rule.
I got you. So do we start with our stink?
You can do whatever you want.
Well, I'm going to start with the stink. I'm going to start with the guy that's ranked number 12 right now.
I have no idea.
That would be Mr. Sullivan Tipton. Sullivan Tipton's right now ranked 12th. Last 2 years he's finished this tournament 40th in 24 and 36th in 23.
Terrible pick, Greg.
I think Sully's not going to score well here.
Dude, this is the same thing that Locke fell into. Sullivan Tipton last year and the year before isn't the same dude that Sullivan Tipton is now. That dude,
I get it.
Worlds, he was in the mix.
And I think that's why he's 12, ranked 12th. And, he's playing better.
What's his, do you know what his average finish is this year?
I do not.
That's what it'll be based on. I'll see what his average finish is. Yeah, Knopper hates your pick too. I don't think you're going to lose Roadhouse on the deal. I don't think he's going to win the tournament, but I think he's going to outperform the previous 2 years.
Outperform his.
Well, it seems like he was a teener because I took him as my sleep last week and won. So, all right, we'll see. I'm going with a guy that could possibly lose me some money, man, because that's what I do, Greg. Mama didn't raise no chump. My guy, average finish this year, 15th on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. That's pretty damn good. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Last year, 21st place. Year before, 18th place. 3 years ago, 6th place. We won't talk about what he did 4 years ago. Kyle Klein. And the only reason I'm picking him is I think top 15 will be hard to beat. I think he'll finish top 20. So I'm just hoping that you blow it with your Sullivan pick now. and I might be taking you to Roadhouse because he could very well win the tournament.
Yeah, possibly. I think you're pretty safe.
I don't know, man. All right, my turn. I'm going to go easy on you. We don't have to have any reasoning for this. Just the guy that we think is going to do the best. Okay? Now, I didn't say win, because I don't think he might not win, but I think he's going to do really good. Vinny. Mainly because that's my pick in Survivor. That's who I got.
You turd.
That's who you had?
That's who I had, but I have two. So I'll go with my second.
Pivot. Who you going?
And my second is definitely was more from the heart than the head, and that's Simon Lizotte. I think Simon Lizotte finishes well at this tournament. I think he'll do well. If he can get a good start, I think it's when he gets a slow start, has a bad first round, he has a tough time getting back in it. But it seems like if he gets off to a good start, if he has a good first round, I think he'll hang in there.
Not as much as he used to. It used to be if he had a bad start, he just kind of threw the towel in. And right. I think, I don't know what it is this year. It might be having the camera guy with him all the time and all the, just constantly being viewed and watched, and might put a little more pressure on him, or maybe a little more, I don't want to look like an idiot, so I'm just going to try to win no matter what. But yeah, he he could be a good pick, or he could be
Yeah, he might
an
be.
amazing pick.
Right. Yeah, it could be great, could be really not good.
Yeah.
I mean, if he has one of those tournaments where he just doesn't show up, then because he's had a couple of those this year.
Pretty sure my guy is going to be a better pick, though. All right. So that leaves us with the sleep. Who's going to do better than their average?
All right. I'm going with Luke Taylor.
You mother jumper. All right.
Yeah, I just
Go
feel
ahead.
like
Why?
I feel like his positioning right now where he's at, he's climbing. He's in an upward trend. And I really
Man,
think that he's got himself set up to do well in this tournament.
you really stung me. That was my pick too. Dude's average finish this year is 33rd. He
Right.
finished 6th here last year. He nearly won the CCR. He's got distance for days. So that's a good pick, unfortunately. Okay, I'm just going to go. I don't know any stats. I'm going to say I'm going to go with the guy who I think is often the best off of the tee and normally struggles around the greens. Aaron Gossage. He's since Worlds. He looked great at Worlds. He made a lot of good putts at Worlds. Wasn't he? He was at CCR though.
Yeah, and didn't play particularly well.
That's because he was resting for this.
Yes.
All right.
He was getting rested up to help you out.
I'm pivoting to Aaron because I had Luke, and I'll go that way because I don't want to have the same as you.
I considered picking Ben Callaway, but
Tough pick. I'm shocked you only brought one MVP guy, like Knopper's saying here.
yeah,
Mr. MVP.
There was some options there, but I just didn't feel comfortable with any of them. That they've just been too inconsistent. All that, the most consistent MVP guy's been Raven Newsom.
You don't want to go with him?
I just don't trust it. He's been playing well.
He has been.
He has been. I mean, he was lead card last tournament.
He has been playing well.
Yeah.
I think last tournament and this tournament are two different dogs.
Yeah, they're two different animals, and I just don't. I don't think he's at a level that I'm going to pick him on something like this.
Right.
I want to.
All right.
But I just can't do it.
Yeah, I don't want to, so I didn't. All right, let's look at our survivor. Greg, I normally get knocked out quick.
You still alive?
I'm still fighting.
Look at you go.
Yeah, man. We got 7 of us in there remaining. We're running out of picks. Okay, I went Rick, Burr, Little Nick, AB, Isaac Robinson. We only lost one last week. Tyson lost on Ezra Robinson, and we were all in jeopardy with Isaac. Snuck in right at the end to get 14th, I believe. And yeah, but so I always just say who I'm picking. I don't care if the other people know. I'm going Calvin Heimberg.
I think that's a solid pick. I feel like he plays this course well. I think that's a good pick.
I think what you meant to say is you think he plays disc golf well.
Well, yeah.
There we go.
There is that too.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready for this?
All right.
I changed this. I had a different one on there about the whole tanking deal.
Right.
And I accidentally got on Reddit. Do you get on Reddit at all?
Rarely, but occasionally I do.
Don't waste. It's not worth it. But I got on Reddit.
There's a lot of garbage on Reddit for sure.
And did some looking. And are you ready?
All right, let's have it.
Okay, Greg. I don't have my little spiel, so I'm going to find it real quick. I can't get lazy on episode 76.
It's a big deal or big deal, bro.
Yeah.
There we go. How's that?
No, not good enough. All right, Greg, here we go. Welcome to Big Deal, the segment of the show where Greg, Silent K. Renfro, takes a deep dive into things everybody's talking about. Whether they deserve the hype and truly are a big deal, or are they just a total overblown, yeah, big deal, bro. Greg, you're an artist.
Yes, sir.
I've seen your work. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Have you seen these?
Yes, I have seen those AI pieces of garbage.
Yeah, they're well.
So if you like things with 3 fingers or 6 fingers, right up your alley. So it's the 6-fingered Rosie the Riveter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know who in their art department is like supposed to be the editor final say on that, but what garbage.
So is it a big deal or is it a big deal, bro?
So
People are pissed.
yeah, so yes, it's a big deal, and I'll tell you why it's a big deal, because you take the human element out of the arts and it just loses its soul. And so I hate to see it. I know that's the way things, because it's quick and easy. It's how things are going to get done, because it's all about dollars, and most people don't give 2 shits if that Rosie the Riveter has 6 fingers or 5. It's disc art, and they don't really care. And I guess from that aspect that it's it's not a big deal, but yeah, 6 fingers of copyright infringement. Love it. So yeah, it just is. Yeah, I think it's a big deal. I think there's some very talented disc golf artists out there. Marmoset, John Dorn, I could name quite a few other ones they're great artists, and they put their guts into the things that they put on those discs. I know it's a lot of people kind of take it for granted, but you look at a DFX or some of the special stamps that any of the companies are doing. Thought Space has some fantastic artwork. Those guys aren't doing that stuff with AI, and there's a reason why they don't. Skullboy's another one that's well known, and he's very anti-AI. And so I got to support those guys that are making real art and putting their brains and creativity and talents into it, instead of some desk jockey punching a button and outputting some garbage like those were.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a hack, man. I'm a hack. I can't draw a stick figure. But
Yeah, and I get why people use it. It's just it always looks like AI art.
yeah, you
To a
can usually
trained eye, you can tell. You can tell.
I'm not
And
as mad as you and the rest of the world is about it. I do think it's a big deal that a major company,
yeah,
art department,
that's pathetic.
did that on Labor Day
Yeah.
for a Labor Day stamp. Put some
Yeah.
dude out of labor,
Right.
to come up with a stamp that has
Yeah, it's so
6 fingers.
counter labor. Yeah, there you go. Marmoset, Justin, all those guys are killer artists.
Yep.
And yeah, to have them shoved aside like that, because that's how they're going to see it, and they're rightfully so, that they're getting pushed out of work that they should have been doing. And it's questionable whether Rosie the Riveter should even be used on disc art like that, because that's a copyrighted image.
Somebody else's idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I don't know that because I know one of the companies that I buy discs from regularly actually got cease and desist on an image that they made that was different, but the original artist jumped on them and made them change it
because of a likeness issue.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of what I believe Latitude went through last year with their swoosh logo. Remember?
Right. Yeah. On the bags. Yeah.
Didn't have that single logo. I'll tell you, man. I deal with this. I'm going to be dealing with it more and more all the time. Like, not so much at my level. Like, I barely even introduce the kids to computer programming.
Right.
I mean, we're dragging blocks and making things go that way. And that's hard enough for us, and that's giving them the basics. But my colleague who is at the high school, he fights this nonstop because ChatGPT will punch out a Python program for them.
Oh yeah.
Just by scouring the internet and pulling all that together.
I mean, I use it at work to solve problems. I mean, it's a good tool, but it also can be a bad crutch.
Yeah, man.
Because there's times when it puts out, I'll be doing some programming and it'll put out some absolute trash that there's no way it's going to work.
Well, the difference is you have been submerged into this programming world and you understand what's going on. These high school kids that are in a class trying to become you and completely relying on AI, it's kind of a scary thing.
It is. It's a dangerous spot. But I do want to say too that the discs that you guys have at the Brook are always over the top, outstanding artwork.
Well, those Garrett,
Yep. Great stuff.
Paints them and just amazing.
Right. Yeah.
So, all right, dude, let's do some shout outs and get the heck out of here.
Gotcha.
You got any?
I do. I want to shout out everybody that went to the scholarship tournament. There's a great turnout there. I want to shout out Bill Paulson for the work he did on that, and shout out to Duck for giving me the opportunity to play it.
There you go. I've got some as well. We have the 4th annual Kansas Junior Disc Golf Championship coming up October the 4th. We currently have 6 kids signed up. Those aren't who I'm shouting out. I mean, I'm glad they're there. Don't get me wrong. But listen to this. 34th State Media sponsored 5 kids. Anson Long picked up a sponsorship. Colwich Players League picked up 5 kids, sponsored 5 kids. Lucas and Disc and Deals, 2. Heisernauts picked up 3. Jason Schwanke picked up 1. Or Schwakey, excuse me. Lindy Blank picked up a couple. Millennium Golf Disc picked up 3. Travis Bailey picked up 2. The Unruh family picked up 2. That is
26.
26 kids sponsored. They're going to show up and get
that's
an incredible players pack. And
yeah, that's incredible.
What a relief to families that, even if they can afford it, and even if they would come anyhow, I think it's amazing just to be able to say, hey, here you go. Thanks for coming. That's great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Great stuff.
There we go. We got another.
Thanks for everybody that did that. That's great.
We got another.
There we go. Look at that.
9. So
3
that's
more.
Cool.
Fantastic. Good deal.
We're gonna have a great time, and I know that Hudson is working hard with Millennium to I mean, how cool is that to have a
Oh man, he's so
10-year-old
much fun
TD?
to.
But he's working with
He's a lot
Millennium.
of fun.
He's got a disc worked out with him. He's got a shirt worked out with him.
Man, that's a great experience for him to
Somehow he
see
squeaked
all that
out.
stuff.
He's got a bunch of 2 boxes of stuff that were donated to him. He's got
I bought a chalk bag from him the other day.
jump chalk.
Yeah, good stuff. It works great. Love it.
We wanted to work with her a little bit, but it sounds like she's really overwhelmed and has some other things that might be more pressing than making chalk bags going. So, hey, there we go. We got 2 more. So we got 5 more here in the
Look at that.
last little bit.
That's amazing.
These guys can hit me up and we'll talk about payment and go around disc golf scene and save on some fees. And we'll get 5 more kids in there. 34. That's cool, man.
That
Super
is
cool.
awesome.
So, all
Very
right,
good.
man. Well, Greg, thanks for coming on. Lucas,
Oh, yeah,
if you're still
absolutely.
hanging around, thanks for coming on. The
Yep.
bad thing about you coming on, Greg, is we'll get 1 less view now.
Yeah,
So,
there you go. Well, now you'll only have 9 instead of 10.
perfect. It's probably better than 2. So,
Yes, sir.
and like I always say, man, I don't care if anybody watches it. I'm just doing it because
it
I
was
like
fun.
talking disc golf. And
It was a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
appreciate you having me on.
right on, buddy.
All right.
Thanks,
Take
everybody.
care, everybody. Good night.